Somewhere in Singapore in the 1900s,
There is an entrepreneur named Evan.
Phew! So hard to export products from Singapore to Malaysia. The tariffs and the complicated trade policies drive me mad. Does it even get better?
Little does Evan know that things do get better.
In the present time, it is now more than easy to ship products across ASEAN nations. This is thanks to economic agreements such as the ASEAN Free Trade Area and the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership. But before we get to that, let us first introduce Singapore as a country. The Lion City is such a fitting name for Singapore, taking into context how rapidly it has grown economically in the past decades despite being a small country. Singapore has cemented its status as one of Asia's four tigers, a term given to the economies of four countries: Hong Kong, Taiwan, Singapore, and South Korea. Driven by exports and rapid industrialization, the four Asian tigers have steadily retained a high rate of economic growth since the 1960s, joining the ranks of the richest countries in the world. Singapore is ranked the 18th largest economy in Asia Pacific, ahead of Kazakhstan. In 2024, Singapore's GDP expanded by 4.4%, a faster pace than the 1.8% expansion in 2023, as expansion was driven by wholesale trade, finance and insurance, and manufacturing sectors.
ASEAN Economic Community, also known as the AEC, is an initiative for economic integration among the 10 ASEAN countries. Launched in 2015, it aims to create a single market and production base, allowing the free flow of goods, services, investments, and skilled workers. It promotes economic growth, strengthens regional supply chain, and encourages foreign direct investment. AEC focuses on enhancing regional competitiveness by ensuring fair trade policies, protecting intellectual property rights, and improving infrastructure connectivity. Digital technology and innovation also play a major role in fostering economic growth through e-commerce and digital trade. Singapore is a key player in AEC, known for promoting economic openness and reducing trade barriers. It supports policies that facilitate regional trade and investment. Singapore is a key player in AEC, known for Singapore acts as a logistics and financial hub, making it easier for businesses to invest and trade across ASEAN. Its business-friendly policies and regulatory frameworks support ASEAN integration. Singapore's smart ports and digital customs system simplify trade processes, making cross-border transactions more efficient. It also hosts economic forums and summits that bring together policymakers and business leaders to boost trade cooperation. AFTA was launched in 1992 to remove tariffs and trade barriers between ASEAN countries, increasing trade efficiency and making ASEAN a more attractive investment destination. AFTA supports intra-regional trade by lowering costs, simplifying custom procedures, and strengthening supply chains to enhance global market access. The Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, also known as the RCEP, signed in 2020, extends ASEAN's trade partnerships with China, Japan, South Korea, Australia, and New Zealand. It is the world's largest free trade agreement, improving market access, reducing trade barriers, and strengthening ASEAN's economic position globally. Singapore played a key role in negotiating and shaping both AFTA and RCEP. It champions tariff reductions and simplified custom procedures to facilitate seamless trade across ASEAN. Singapore supports regional trade policies like the ASEAN Trade in Goods Agreement, or also known as the ATIGA, further reducing the trade restrictions and making ASEAN a more integrated economic region. Singapore's participation in RCEP highlights its commitment to expanding trade beyond ASEAN, strengthening economic ties with global markets, and encouraging multinational investments. Singapore's leadership in digital trade and fintech innovation helps modernize ASEAN's economy by providing cross-border payments and digital connectivity. This enhances regional economic integration and competitiveness.
Singapore has long been a dominant player in ASEAN's economic integration, using its strategic location and strong trade policies throughout the years. However, evolving regional dynamics present new challenges as well. Now, a significant challenge is the competition from other regional hubs, referring to how most neighboring ASEAN countries are investing in large-scale projects to boost economic growth and attract foreign investments. For instance, Malaysia and Singapore have agreed to establish a special economic zone in Johor to boost investment and facilitate the movement of goods and people across their borders. Another challenge is balancing national interests with ASEAN's collective goals. Now, Singapore emphasizes that its participation in international bodies must align with its own national interests. This approach ensures that while Singapore contributes to regional initiatives, it remains steadfast in safeguarding its sovereignty and national priorities. Moving forward, Singapore faces digital trade challenges post-pandemic, with low adoption of advanced technologies and a skill gap in data and digital expertise, limiting businesses from fully benefiting from digital transformation. Singapore faces digital trade challenges like digital taxation, AI regulations, and supply chain disruptions, driving efforts to strengthen its digital infrastructure. They now aim to boost digital adoption for small businesses, train workers in advanced tech, and lead in digital trade, building on existing programs while expanding support for SMEs, or small and medium-sized enterprises, tech skills, and global trade efforts. Despite these challenges, Singapore remains committed to maintaining its competitive edge. Initiatives like the Smart Nation program and investments in AI-driven trade are central to its vision. Through continuous innovation and strategic policymaking, Singapore aims to reinforce its position as ASEAN's leading trade hub.
Now let's cut back to Evan. With Singapore now established as a rising economic player in the global community, this opens doors for many entrepreneurs like Evan. A few years ago, I was just an entrepreneur with a dream. But in Singapore, dreams don't just stay as dreams, they take flight. Singapore isn't just a country, it is a gateway to the world. With trade agreements spanning across 27 economies, including powerhouses like the US, China, and the European Union, the opportunities here are limitless. Some people are shackled by the idea of starting up their own businesses, with the ideas of, what if I fail? What if I don't make a profit? What if everything doesn't go according to plan? Well, these are all valid doubts. But here in Singapore, it's much more easier. We rank number 1 in Asia and number 2 globally for ease of doing business. No wonder why over 37,000 multinational corporations call it their home. And our corporate tax rate? One of the most competitive globally at 17%. This attracts major investments from all around the world. And what makes it so advantageous to start a business here is our heartbeat of global trade. Singapore handles over 37 million containers annually, one of the busiest in the world. All of that is all and well, but we also care about the environment and proactively exercise sustainable efforts. The country is a leader in sustainability and diplomacy. From hosting global climate summits to investing $100 billion in climate resilience, it is a country that looks ahead. I started out with a dream, a meager business. But Singapore gave me more than that. It gave me a place where innovation, commerce, and sustainability meet. And this is just the beginning.